Hi everybody, welcome to our Thursday video for week 2 of January curriculum. Before we get going on our lesson, I want you to get your body warmed up with some jumping jacks, sit-ups, push-ups, front-ups, and then 30 seconds of mountain climbers or jogging with high knees, something to get your body pumping and going. Get yourself warmed up. Ready, set, go. All right, so first thing we're going to go over again today is our rear kicks. Just a reminder that rear kicks have the same 4 parts as the front kick and pivot, front kick, and side kick. So we've got chamber, kick, retract, back to balance. All right. This month, our word is focus. And so that's why with a lot of the skills, we're kind of slowing down and spending time moving slowly on the different parts of the different moves that we're doing. And so today, what's going to happen in class is we'll partner up and they'll work on this, but since you're training at home, if you have somebody there to help you, that's great. But what we're going to focus on is practicing those 4 parts of the kick, slowly feeling all 4 of those parts, and really concentrating on our balance and focusing our body, right? So what I want you to do is find something that you can hold on to. Maybe it's a chair, the back of the couch, even just a hand on the wall, something that you can hold on to help you keep your balance. I'm holding on to this big Century bag here today. But what I want you to do, so you've got one hand holding on, whether it's up high or you're leaning on a countertop, holding something, right? I want your other hand up and cover, as if you were in a ready stance, right? So one hand is holding on to keep you steady, but the other hand's gonna stay up because we don't want to practice kicking with our hand down at our side. Other free hand is up, and you're going to practice the 4 parts. You're going to chamber. That knee needs to come up in front. It doesn't have to come way up here like we do for the front kick, but you still want it to come in front so that you have more room to power back that kick. When you do your kick, notice my foot is pointing down at the ground. I'm not turning like this. That turns it into kind of a side kick, but not really, right? So it's really important that you keep your hip down so that your foot is pointed down and you extend your leg all the way out. And then notice how my body is leaning forward. That's why it's nice to have something to help you keep your balance, okay? And then when you come for the retract, you stand all the way back up as you bring the leg back in and then set it back down. Okay, so one more time, nice and slowly, chamber. My hip isn't going to move. I'm not going to turn like this. I'm not going to turn my body at all, right? All you need to do is put your chin to your shoulder so you can see over your back. My foot is pointed down. It's not perfectly straight down. That would be kind of a little awkward, but my toe is generally pointed down. When I retract, I stand back up as I bring my knee in to that retract, and then I set back down in my ready stance. So I want you to go that slow, okay? Looking at every part, feeling every part. I want you to do that 5 times on each side, okay? Then, and only then, do I want you to speed it up and practice now without holding on. No, okay? And make sure that you extend your foot all the way back. I see some kids go like this, right? And they just kind of get a partial chamber, and then they just kind of swing their leg back, and they're not getting that full extension, which doesn't give you the full power in the kick. So make sure you feel those full 4 parts when you speed it up. No, right? Feel that leg lock out before you bring it back in and set it back down. And so then you can do 5 to 10 quick ones on each side after you've done that nice and slow, feeling all 4 parts, thinking about your foot position, looking over your shoulder without turning, right? Looking over your shoulder, keeping the hip pointed down, coming back, all right? So 5 very slowly on each side, and then 10 fast on each side. Ready, set, go. Okay, guys, next up is going to be our wrist grab escape. We worked on those last Monday, Tuesday. Coming back to those again today, just a quick review. Someone's grabbing you by the wrist, just one hand at this point, and you need to circle around their arm, okay? After you've done a distraction. A distraction would be something like an eye spear, palm strike, kick to the groin, or all of the above, right? You need to strike, strike, strike to get them not thinking about squeezing your arm so tightly, because as long as they're squeezing your hand as tight as they can, and if they're focused on that, then it's going to be really hard for you to do that circle around their arm. But if you start hitting them, poking them, kicking them, well, then they're not quite thinking about so hard how hard they're grabbing you, and then that makes it easier to do your circle around their arm, and then you back out with those hands up, and then you get out of there, right? So what I want you to practice today is stick your arm out, either arm, okay? And then go for an eye spear, go for a kick, and then circle, no, back off, right? Use your voice, always back up and finish in your ready stance before you reset to go again, right? So if you have somebody who's working with you, helping you, and if you guys have a mitt or a pillow or something that they can hold for you, right? Hold the mitt out here for an eye spear or a palm strike as you're grabbing their hand. Hold the mitt out here, right? For a kick to the groin as you're holding their hand. So that means, student, you need to focus on where that target is. Do not kick or eye spear or palm strike at your helper's face or your helper's groin. You focus on the target of the pad to do your distractions first. If you want to just make them do one distraction, tell them what to do. Say, you grab their arm and say, eye spear, and then let go a little bit so they can do their circle, right? Or if you want them to do a couple, say, kick, palm strike, eye spear, now go, right? That's okay. You can give them those instructions, but I want them to practice using a distraction before they circle, and then step back using their voice, saying, no, back off, and bringing those hands up in ready position. What I don't want you to do, I don't want them to just stand there pulling, trying to pull, trying to circle, not using their voice, not doing anything, right? It's about flipping a switch to attack and then go and finish the escape, okay? So, distractions, distractions, circle, step back, using your voice, getting nice and loud, finishing in your ready stance. It's not just circle and stand there, right? And so, partners, if you're grabbing them, don't always grab the same hand. Sometimes reach across, reach the same side, other side, reach across, same side. Next class, we're going to be practicing the two-handed grab for you guys, for them to learn, okay? So for today, keep it to one hand, and then offer those distractions for them to strike before doing the escape, all right? Remember, try to keep your arm as straight as you can to go around their arm to complete the escape, all the way around. Don't just go up and drop, but go all the way around, sometimes maybe 2 circles, to make sure you get that hand all the way around so that they cannot hold on, all right? So practice that. Ready, set, go. All right, guys, next up, we're going to be practicing our high blocks and low blocks together, okay? In order to practice these well, you have to keep your body focused by staying in a ready stance and keeping your hands in a good ready position, because you need to be ready for a high block or a low block, okay? And if you're standing here like this or standing here like this, that you're not ready, okay? So we're really going to focus on keeping our mind focused and keeping our body focused in that ready stance, being ready for the high and low blocks, okay? So if you have a partner, a helper, if you guys have something like a pool noodle or something soft, even like a foam sword that they can block, right? Or if you don't have an item like that and you just got to use your arms, that's okay. You can give them a hammer fist over the top, going straight for their head, and you can just do a low punch towards the belly, okay? But the idea is to stay in the ready stance, and you don't know which one is coming, right? We can start off with just a verbal drill where they say high, and you block high, high, high. If they say low, block low, 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 and then they can mix it up, high, low, low, high, right? Always coming right back to that good ready position with your hands up, eyes forward, right? Then if you do have an item that you're going to use for blocking and you want to move on to that item, swing it straight over the top for those high blocks. If you come at a little bit of an angle, that's okay too, so that they know which arm, they can alternate which arm to use. Okay, same thing with the lows. If they come at you, come from a little bit of an angle over here, use the side that's closer to them. If they come at you from over here, use this one over here. And if it's straight on, it really doesn't matter which arm you use, okay? But as you go through that drill and they're swinging at you, poking at you, you've got to stay focused. If you start going, ha, 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 well, that's not focus. All right, I want you to practice keeping your body focused, even if it starts getting a little complicated or they're moving fast. Just stay focused. No, no, right? Staying ready, and it's even if you're having fun, like it's good to have fun, but you still need to keep your body focused, even when you're having a good time. Because if you start flailing and jumping and swinging around, you're not practicing the techniques well, and you may accidentally flail around and hit somebody around you, okay? And I want you guys to practice staying focused. Even when you're feeling excited and having fun, focus doesn't have to be quiet and boring, but it's still self-control, all right? So practice those high and low blocks. Have some fun with it while staying focused. Ready, set, go. All right, guys, today on our focus sheet, we're going to talk about number 4, learning to control my body's actions. All right, and that drill we just did with the high and low blocks, I did that on purpose. I wanted that to be a challenge for you to learn to control your body's actions, even when you're excited, having fun, maybe scared, right? Having stuff swung at you and poke at you can make you feel a little uncomfortable and a little nervous too. So I wanted you to practice keeping your mind and your body focused in that ready stance as you are experiencing those different feelings of exciting, maybe a little bit nervous, getting swung at. But controlling our body's actions is really important, because when we don't control our body's actions, there's a chance that we might hurt someone else, we might hurt ourselves, or damage someone else's property, okay? But it's also really important to be able to control our bodies when we're in like a stressful situation, where if you are defending yourself, and if you don't learn to keep your hands up, focus your body, keep your mind focused on what you need to do to create a distraction so you can escape and get away, right? That's why it's important to practice controlling your body when you're under those different heightened emotions, because that's going to help you get through a self-defense situation a little bit more successfully. All right, and so controlling your body's actions is a great way to practice focus, right? That means when you're in class and you say, "Eyes on you, ma'am," that means you stand with your hands behind your back and you leave them there, even if you're starting to feel wiggly, right? You don't start doing the kicks and moves that I'm talking about, or that your teacher is talking about when you're at school. If they're trying to teach you a concept, you don't just go and start writing away without listening and understanding the concept first, right? Same thing with home, when your parents are saying, "Hey, I need you," maybe they're trying to teach you how to do a new chore, and if you just say, "I got it, I'm going to do it," and you just start doing it without letting them show you how it should be done properly or how they want it to be done, you may not do it well. You may end up creating more work for yourself, because they're going to say, "Well, you didn't let me tell you how to do it," right? So even when you're excited or scared or frustrated, right? Even when you get angry, you're still responsible for what you do with your body. And it's not okay to just start hitting people or throwing a fit or throwing things around or flopping on the ground because you're mad or upset or irritated, right? And your voice is part of your body. And so that's also part of learning to control your body's action, is learning to control what comes out of your mouth, right? Sometimes when we get upset or frustrated, the things that come out of our mouth are rude and disrespectful or unkind, and we're responsible for the things that we say. And sometimes there are consequences for the things that you say. We've all gotten in trouble for being disrespectful and saying mean things to our parents, and that's not okay. We got to learn from that and learn to take a deep breath, think before we say or do something. We have to learn to focus and try to control our bodies and our mouths no matter how we're feeling. And I'm not expecting you to be perfect at that, because even a lot of grown-ups struggle with that. But it's never too early to start practicing and getting better at it. All right? You guys have a great day.